podcast watcher. Believe me, you are in for a great treat. You ask, why? That is a good question indeed. I am glad you asked. What you are about to read will shock you beyond your wildest dream. Serious. Joke aside. Before speaking another word, may I have the pleasure of introducing myself as Madam Roberto and I avatar programmed by CTM Joseph NG. His bio data. His company and his e-free book will be presented by Madam Sophia, another AI avatar developed by CTM Joseph. Alright. Enough of my talking. Shall we dig deeper into the prelude of this podcast? Okay. Thanks. To jumpstart this podcast entitled, The 5 Amazing Best Practices for a Strong Sales Approach to Start an Effective Sales Interview. Be forewarned that a strong approach is really the foundation of successful sales professional for initial interactions with a buyer. It applies whether you or any of your salesperson is approaching a potential client, partner, employer, or collaborator. Don't that make sense to you? Make no mistakes, by combining research, personalization, and clear communication, you can make a meaningful connection and increase your chances of a positive response from your prospect or customer. By the way, let's us be clear, the key lies in understanding your audience, delivering value up front, plus guiding the conversation toward a purposeful next step. Isn't it? Needless to say, here are the best practices to ensure your approach stands out and drives results. Believe it or not, at the end of podcast, you would have greatly benefited from the 5 best practices. Again, it really concerns elements like research and preparation, making a strong first impression, provide value upfront, clear and action-oriented, and adapt and improve. Quite a mouthful, I must say. Don't worry. You will get the full explanation after you have viewed the entire podcast. Alright. Come to think about it, following here are the best practices examined one by one for you. It can guarantee your approach stands out and drives results, to say the least. With that said, let's us kickstart with the first and foremost approach, number 1. Shall we? Thanks. Trust me, it cannot be repeated enough. This first of the 5 approaches regarding research and preparation is an eye-opener, if I may say so myself. True. Joke aside. Without wasting another second, let's go full speed ahead. Strong approach number 1. Research and preparation. It is no-brainer that sales professional needs to understand their audience. It entails the seller to know who the sales professional is approaching. More precisely, the prospect's needs, challenges, and goals. Moreover, it is of great importance that the salesman or saleswoman needs to tailor their message. Hence, it does require the seller to customize their communication based on their industry, role, and interests. Easy to follow? I bet it is. Additionally, it does entails the sales professional to set clear objectives. Hence, there is the grave requirement of define what salesperson want to achieve. It could result in a favorable meeting, collaboration, or a sale. Believable? I bet it is possible. That said, let's move along to approach number 2. Is it okay with you? I hope so. Strong approach number 2. Make a strong first impression. Think of it this way. It logically means a type of professional communication. If truth is to be told, it is then paramount that sales professional must use clear, concise, and polite language. On the other hand, salespeople must at all cost avoid jargon unless appropriate. Get my point? I sincerely hope you do. Additionally, it requires the salesperson to personalize their outreach. This means the seller must always mention something specific about them. This could require the seller to talk about his or her recent achievement and shared connection. Moreover, there is still an urgent need of the salesman or saleswoman to appear confident and speak in a friendly tone. Not only that, the seller must be assertive but not pushy. The sales personnel's enthusiasm should feel natural. This brings us logically to the next strong approach. Alright. Strong approach number 3. Provide value upfront. It is a pretty well-known fact that the seller must start the sales conversation by leading the sales talk with benefits. As you can clearly see, it is essential that the salesman or saleswoman must explain how their proposal helps them. On the contrary, it's just not what you or your salespeople want, doesn't it? Likewise, do offer insights or solutions at all times, if possible. Don't get me wrong, this requires the seller to share useful information, a free resource, or a quick tip. Furthermore, the salesperson must show credibility. Hence, it's best to briefly highlight relevant experience or success stories. Incidentally, can we do a pit stop for a moment of two? Do allow the first three approaches sink deep into our minds. Are you game? I bet you are. Now that we have paused a moment, shall we then proceed to the next approach, which is strong approach number 4. Be clear and action-oriented. In this approach, it requires the seller to direct call to action. In short, is the initials CTA, therefore it must be clearly specify the next step. An excellent example, such a question like, can we schedule a 15-minute call? Easy to apply. I am sure you can. It is no-brainer. The sales professional must make it easy to respond. Another area that needs is to provide multiple contact options. Some good examples would be engaged in doing email, LinkedIn, and phone. Do keep in mind, always remember to follow up strategically. In face of no response, do send a polite follow-up in 5 to 7 days. The last but not the least is no rocket science, if you ask me. Really. It is the naked truth. Believable. You bet it is. Then shall we continue? Strong approach number 5. Adapt and improve. It goes without saying, in this approach, it is a good habit to track responses. It is vitally important to study and note what works and refine your approach. It is more often than not there is the element of staying professional in rejections. In such a situation, it is best to thank your prospect for their time and leave the door open. All in all, we must practice the art of continuous learning, seek feedback, and refine one's strategy. Are you comfortable with such a respond? Now that we have expounded the 5 practices for a strong sales approach, we shall cross over the all-important conclusion. Any objection? I hope not. If there is none, then let's progress to the conclusion. With your permission, we will proceed now. Therefore, to conclude in neat nutshell, be alert that mastering the art of the approach. Period. Trust me, it is always an essential action for building impactful professional relationships. It is the gospel truth. In all my 20 years plus in the selling arena, I declare that by prioritizing research, personalization, plus clarity, you can create meaningful connections that lead to opportunities. Whether you're engaging with a client, partner, or employer, the right strategy rooted in empathy and purpose sets the stage for success. Get my point? I hope you do. You can safely believe that by applying these best practices to craft approaches, it truly resonate, inspire action, and drive measurable results. Would you buy this suggestion? At this juncture, it is good to recall the 5 strong practices of the sales approach. And they are research and preparation, making a strong first impression, provide value upfront, clear and action-oriented, and adapt and improve. I do hope that you will adopt these practices in your next sales approach, either with prospects or customer. Is this okay with you? By the way, at this stage, it is an excellent time to consider this great quote by Brian Tracy, the sales guru. He proclaimed, "Approach each customer with the idea of helping them solve a problem or achieve a goal, not of selling a product or service." Before wrapping up this podcast, you are reminded to watch the presentation by Madam Sophia and our avatar created by CTM Joseph. His complete biodata, his company, and his free book will be presented at the end of this podcast. Happy? I hope you are. Really. In case you need to contact CTM Joseph urgently, you are welcome to reach him at WhatsApp 6012 2878 592, or email him at josephsfng@gmail.com. He will respond to you as fast as possible. This is my promise to you, and without any obligations whatsoever. Get my drift? I hope you do. Need I say more? I guess not. With that, we, Madam Sophia, CTM Joseph, and myself bid you a fond goodbye. Hope we can meet again in our next weekly podcast. All right. The end.
Hello, my name is Madam Sophia, an AI avatar developed by CTM Joseph. I am deeply honored to be able to present CTM Joseph Ng's biodata and his company. That said, let's roll it. Okay, thanks. Presenting biodata of CTM Joseph NG and his company. CTM Joseph SFNG now is the senior partner of a Malaysian company which focuses on helping others. And with regards to marketing companies and its employees' self and career growth, particularly in area of sales and marketing. Apart from that, CTM acted as a consultant for a few companies. Additionally, he is a local motivational sales speaker who addressed more than 5,000 people through his dozens of talks and training across many states in east and west of Malaysia. He is happily married to Margaret NG and has 3 children. But that is not how he started. In the beginning, Joseph faced a lot of hardships and problems before he reaches the pinnacle of success. Now let us hear his story. Being a high school certificate holder, he had a very rough start from an early age. He had to sell to consumers from door to door on a part-time basis to supplement his low income. Continuing his work as a clerk, Joseph also managed to travel a lot in that period, exposing himself in the art and science of selling. At the same time, he graduated from 3 countries' professional degrees in business administration, Australia, and marketing, UK. Subsequently, he did qualified as accomplished speaker from Toastmaster International, US, with a competent Toastmasters CTM certification. He acquired valuable knowledge from internationally successful salespeople and applying them regularly. Hence his sales skills and marketing improved remarkably. And at the end of his second stint being employed, he excelled as a sales and marketing manager for others. Having improved in these environment, Joseph NG became a marketing manager handling a team of 15 salespeople under him. Then, he was 45 years old. After mastering the art of sales, Joseph moved on to work on some bigger projects like sales and marketing, business assignments for many reputable organizations. He continued with his hard work, and as a result, Joseph performed well in every industry he set his eyes on. But he did not stop here. After trying various success and productivity systems, Joseph NG decided to launch his own partnership company to train business individuals and organizations in sales and marketing. For the same reason, this led to the birth of Messrs. Joseph NG and Associates, Training and Marketing Organization in Malaysia. Joseph NG wrote over 4 books, articles and blogs on various topics like sales, business, self-growth, sales productivity, and much more. Most of them are filled with all the sales and marketing knowledge and experience that Joseph gained in his working life. Joseph wrote about the laws of sales success in his books that he uses in his journey, that both you and I can also use and become successful like him and create marketing history. End.
Hi, I am CTM Joseph NG. Glad that you downloaded this podcast. You just watched the intro by Madam Sophia, the AI developed by me. Here is good news. You're entitled to my free ebook, The Giant 7 Steps to Great Selling. Contact me WhatsApp 6012-3878-592 or email me at josephsfng@gmail.com. Thanks.